Clayton, what's good?
Good, man. How are you?
Really well. Where you at?
Oakville, Ontario, Canada, about 25 miles outside Toronto.
Let's go.
First of all, thank you so much for all that you do, man. Honestly, you've been a huge inspiration, motivator.
Thank you.
It's been about 3 or 4 years since I started listening to you.
Thank you so much, Clayton.
Yeah, of course. I'm in a wheelchair with muscular dystrophy, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah,
Keep
it's the
grinding.
cards. I love you. I love you for that mindset.
So
Clayton, it's Clayton, it's so funny. I apologize for interrupting you, but
no,
you just motivated me so much because I know 10,000 people are watching right now, and they're sitting there worried about dumb shit, and just your fucking mindset on such that's a tough hand. And for you to be able to, I said to my mom and dad this morning before I went to show, I said, life is about what you look at. Like, life is about perspective. Life is completely based on what you're looking for. You find what you're looking for. If you're looking for happiness and optimism, it's there. If you're looking for negativity and pessimism, it's there. Somebody literally right before you came on complained that they can't go to the gym that they're used to or get their favorite coffee shop. And like, I just appreciate you, bro. I really do.
thank you. I really appreciate that. So I did a social media marketing course, just a basic one, just to get, my feet on the ground. Mind the pun, since I'm in a chair. But anyway, just to get the wheels rolling, right? And
Yep,
and
yep.
I want to start a blog. I'm currently in the process of getting guests, whatnot. I want to do a blog where I interview like, athletes, musicians, other disabled people, and get their
Love it.
perspective
Love it.
on,
Love it.
what they've done with charities,
Love it.
what they've done with people with disabilities. And
Yes.
I'm just wondering, how do you recommend that I make the interviews interesting instead of, I don't want to go like news anchor path and just be boring as
Ask,
fuck. I want
ask fucking interesting questions. Start it. Now I come to your show. I know what you're about. I know what this show's about. And your opening question is about the first, let's say it's a 44-year-old athlete, and you ask them who'd you think was hotter, Cindy Crawford or Jessica Rabbit, right? You
right,
ask them what their favorites, who their favorite athlete is and why, and you dig in. Like, interesting as fuck is completely based on the interviewer. It's based on your creativity.
right, right,
How do I recommend you do it? Ask ask questions that most people don't ask, while asking the 4 or 5 questions you need to
right,
ask. That's it. It's some left field shit. I'm an interesting interviewer. I bug the shit out of people because I interrupt so much, but I already know I know what the person's saying, and I'm trying to move it. So like, some people hate it, but one thing that I've noticed is there's a big undertone of people that love it, because a lot of people that I have on have done 87 other podcasts and they've heard all the same shit. But when they come on my show, I'm throwing such little fucking curveballs, jumping in, interrupting, that I'm getting some new shit from them. So that's why I'm an interesting interviewer. But a lot of people hate it because I'm interrupting, and
right,
they wanted to hear that person's thought because they didn't understand where they were going. I respect that. That's who I am as an interviewer. Clayton, you need to be yourself as an interviewer. You want to be more
yeah,
interesting? Think of interesting questions. Do research.
right, right. Because I took
You,
I took journalism way back. I took it. I didn't really like the whole background of journalism. Like, they're just telling you what their platform wants you to tell them. And I want to go my own way and just, make it interesting. I don't want to be
you
told
mean,
what to do. You
yeah, I
know what I
get it.
mean?
Of course. Well, school tells you. I mean, that, bro.
Yeah. And I went through a bad breakup. I was depressed for a few years, but then when I discovered you 3 years ago, you were just like, fuck it, go for it, do it. Like, you just need to start posting. You don't know. People always assume that they're going to be shit at something, or they won't get
People,
followers. It's
people,
not about
people
that.
say no. People say no before. I just say yes to everything. Everybody
Right.
loves no. No safe. Takes courage to be in the yes
Exactly.
game.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I've been spamming everybody. Like, I messaged Justin Bieber, for God's sake. Like, I want to get some interesting people on there, and
Good for you.
the worst thing
Keep
that can
going.
happen is they don't respond. Like, what the
100%.
hell?
Let me give you a good piece of advice. If you're going through DMs, really pay attention to their last 5 or 6 posts, see what they're up to, and try to
Okay.
start the conversation with something that brings them value versus brings you value. When people are
Okay.
like, yo, Gary Vee, be on my show, like, when they've got 4 listeners, I'm in charity mode. And ironically, I love doing that shit. And I've done a lot. A couple years ago, I actually did a fucking podcast every day for the year just to put people on. I still say yes to small things, but look at their profile and try to figure out something of their value.
Right. And that's just it. That's
Got it.
what you got to focus on, right?
Yeah, if you bring value in the opening DM, you've got a much better shot than just Control C, Control V. Do you want to be on my podcast? That's the lazy way out. Spending 3 minutes on somebody is way better than 3 seconds when you're trying to get somebody who's fucking up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And
go ahead.
What would your recommendation be? Like, I'm thinking IGTV, but I've made a Twitter, I've made a Facebook.
IGTV is very good. You'll have a bigger audience there. I think IGTV is a good start. Don't overthink distribution.
Posting it on YouTube too probably is not the worst city either, right? Just go for it.
I want the content everywhere. You start at one hub, then you strip the video from IGTV, and then you fucking post it everywhere.
Right. Okay.
And just make it contextual. Awesome, brother. I wish you well, Chris.
All right. Thanks so much, Gary. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.